Hey everyone, sorry for the poor video quality, but this is going to serve as both an announcement and kind of like a documentation of what's going on here. So, a while back, actually not a while back, it was only like a few days ago as of this video, I was having problems while live streaming Splatoon 2 with my left Joy-Con, right? So, I decided to call Nintendo. They first said that they're aware of the problem, but they don't have a fix. I called them back, and it was someone else, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you can send that in, and it's just a simple fix. So, a little confusing there. So I set up the repair for that, and while I was setting up the repair, I burned my hand really bad, like not enough to do any permanent damage, but it hurt like heck, on the Switch when I went to grab it, because they have me do those, tests, like, oh, try to resync it, take it, undock it, try to slide it on the Switch again, you know, all that stuff. And I let them know about that during the call, and they're like, okay, that's a problem. Let us, you know what, we're going to have Nintendo's supervisor call you later. So they called me, and essentially it's just like, yeah, that sounds dangerous. That sounds like it could have the potential to catch fire, and we can't have one of our consoles have that issue. So, kind of have to send that in now. Because apparently my Switch could, like, it's either going to end up frying its internal components and completely die, or, worst case scenario, it could catch our apartment on fire. And if this isn't the only Switch having this issue, there might be a serious manufacturing error there. But yeah, this is like documenting the before and after to show that, like, I really did take care of this thing. There's no, you're not going to see any scratches. You're not going to see, like, even very much wear and tear on it. It's just, there it is. Nice, clean. There might be a couple cat hairs on the screen there. Yeah, there's one right there. No scratches whatsoever. I'm documenting that in case I get it back and it ends up being damaged. I mean, it's Nintendo we're talking about. That's probably not the case, but yeah, as you can see, there's nothing on there whatsoever. Very clean. So just documenting that, making sure I have, like, proof in case it comes back damaged, because that's a long trip to send it on. And on top of that, while that was all going on, I also discovered that the HD rumble in the right Joy-Con is totally messed up. So all of this is going to mean that for like the next 2 weeks at least, there's probably not going to be any Splatoon content, let alone any Switch content in general. But yeah, let me show this off real quick. Obviously, I can't have you feel the rumble, but I can do something just about as good. So it has this little fine controller feature, if your controllers are missing, right? Let me turn that on. And you click it, they rumble, right? So let me set this up on the table here, upright like this. Let's hear this rumble. You hear that? Okay, now the red one. I wonder if I could change my controller order so I make sure that I'm not touching that. Let me do that real quick. Let me make this one player 1. There we go. Here we go. It's not even vibrating. It sounds like it's skipping. It sounds like it's trying to vibrate. Nothing. Well, there's a little bit on the corner there, but not quite on the same level as a. Yeah. So just documenting that. Also showing off the Joy-Cons here. Absolutely no damage on them whatsoever, not even a scratch. I took really good care of these things. There's a little wear and tear on the sticker, but that's just where my hand has been gripping it. Also, it's just the sticker. So yeah, there you go. So sorry about the lack of Switch content. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. Also documenting that I have the little controller here. I'm going to package that in as well. The HDMI cable. The power supply. Okay. Gonna go ahead and turn that off. And lastly, we have the dock itself. So yeah, the weird thing about the fact that it was overheating is I never had that issue in handheld mode. I never had it overheat on me in handheld mode before. So the fact that it's like, it seems to be not using the fan while it's docked, that's a problem. That's a problem. Got a lot of fingerprints in here. I don't know how that happened. I guess my hands were sweaty when I took it out. But yeah. So here's just proof right there that I took dang good care of this thing. If it comes back damaged or with scratches, there's like not only this video, but everyone else's witnesses to be like, no, he took care of that. That wasn't there before. I just do that because I've had issues with sending stuff in before. I've never honestly had an issue with Nintendo damaging some of my property, but other companies definitely, and I don't want this to be the first time that I have an issue with Nintendo like that. Oh yeah, and just a side note, never even used the micro USB slot, never even used that. In fact, geez, what if that's something else that's like faulty? I don't know. I don't have a micro USB that I use for stuff, so yeah. I tend to use cartridge games anyway. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand why there's not going to be any Switch content for a little while. I'll just end up doing more stuff like Minecraft, Fistful of Frags, things like that for the in-betweens. And of course, I'll always be doing a lot of TF2 content. That's just like the bread and butter of the channel. But yeah, for anyone who's wondering where the next Splatoon video is, I thought about recording a second episode and putting that out before I sent this in, but if the Switch is honestly overheating, I don't want to risk it. So yeah, I'm just going to send that in. Also, a little note, I did not include the little grip accessories on the Joy-Cons, since that didn't come with the console. Oh yeah, I guess I should like just take a little look at there. It's not focusing properly, but hopefully you can see that there's not even scratches on the thumbsticks, because I did have covers on those. Yeah. It's a little dirt. No scratches, though. But yeah. Well, that's basically it. Just gonna wrap this up in bubble wrap, send it off, and focus on something else for a little while. And of course, all the care that I put into my Switch means nothing if I didn't package it right. So here's a little documentation. This is the actual console itself. Okay. We've got the dock here in some heavy bubble wrap. Not a very, it's not double wrapped, just single wrapped, because I mean it's just the dock, but yeah, that should definitely protect it. So we're just gonna stick that in there. Joy-Cons and the grip controller. Extra packaging around the button interface, because hopefully this will be enough to protect it here, because I mean the Joy-Cons slide into the controller grip perfectly fine. It should be a good fit, and it should help protect them so they're not sliding around. Okay, so I guess we can just put the you know, we should put the screen in first. We should put the screen in first. Let's have the screen facing up. Screen facing up. Joy-Cons can go there. Lastly, we've got the wires, which even this I put in a bag and I inflated it to make sure that it's got a nice little cushion on it. But I might have to deflate it a little to get it to fit. There we go, we got that in there. And lastly, I guess we will just add a bit more bubble wrap to it, right? Okay, there's the last bit of bubble wrap around it. Alright, there's the last bit of bubble wrap around it. We're just going to close this up, ship it off, and hopefully Nintendo can fix it. Yep, that is just a perfect fit. Perfect.